Hello YouTube, this is ROF Romania coming at you with Airsoft guns. I'm just kidding. My name is Jesse Hill and this is Jesse Hill Airsoft Corner. Today we're going to be talking about my Airsoft arsenal. Now a lot of people have asked me, what do I got, what do I use, what have I used, and what I would recommend. So,
Alright guys,
join me
now
as
let's
we
jump
go
into
through
the
each
guns
one
that
of
I
these
have.
guns.
The first one is an IWI Humorix Hard Kick CO2 Uzi. This thing is awesome. It's got a very, very, very high rate of fire. It's very reliable. It's made of nice steel and a good polymer construction. The only drawback about these is the magazines are uber expensive, but they're super well built and the quality is very high. And I've not had a problem with them so far, other than the fact that they chew bullets like crazy. And you can get about 2 mags almost out of one charge, so that's a good thing. And I'll tell you, it's a really nice gun. Alright, moving on. I'm going to do the pistols first, of course. This is my Goblin Deuce, a little double-barreled, what would be a simulated 12-gauge little shotgun. It has these little Nitro Express shells. They shoot 12 rounds per thing, but I like to underload it because I'll put about 2 rounds in each hole, and that'll give me a lot more distance and a decent spread. And I tell you, this is the best CQB gun I've had. The place that used to be here, Wichita Indoor Airsoft, I was notorious for whenever I brought this. They called it the popcorn gun because it sounded like popcorn and they knew they were apt if they got shot with it. The only problem is you have to sometimes call your shots when you use low power gas, but the advantage of having that is that you don't blow out the little O-rings. Moving on. This is one of my first gas airsoft pistols. It's on safety, of course. It doesn't, the mag release is broken right now, so I'm getting it fixed, but it's a nice one. It's made by KJ, Quanju Works, for, KJ for short. But it works really well, very sturdy construction, super easy breakdown. I mean, even an idiot like me could handle it. Really nice gun. I recommend it for anybody who wants to get started. Alright, moving on. Of course, the yellow jacket. My cameraman's shaking his head because he absolutely hates this thing. It chronos around 490. This thing shoots really hard, shoots really hot, and it's very painful to get shot by. But if you're playing out in the woods, it kind of makes it fair because it's got a short barrel. It'll skew the bullets, but really nice gun. Good for reenactments. It's got those fake shells that go in. Gas consumption is really, really conservative and everything like that. So really nice gun. Next, my first airsoft gun I ever bought that is of good quality. I bought this years and years ago. As I've told you in past videos, the magazines gave me quite a bit of trouble, but now I have to say that ever since I got everything fixed up and relubricated, resealed, this is a fine gun, good distance. The trigger reset's a little strange. You have to wait till it clicks all the way front, but that's not a big deal. Good distance. If they made a full auto version of this would be awesome. That would be a little more available. But yeah, got a couple mags. These are the infamous mags. So just follow me over here. Alright, and this is my main gun I carry with me. Magazines are super cheap, really well made. I'm talking, of course, about the WeTech Browning High Power. This thing is totally boss. It works well. I keep it well lubricated. Good simple design, doesn't need a hop up because it's just really accurate right out of the box. I recommend it to anybody, and it's a good price. So check out one of these. I love it. Okay, well guys, that was my pistol part. I'm gonna shut off real quick, get everything situated up really nice, and get my bearings a little bit, and I'm going to show you guys. Alright, guys, welcome back. I'm going to be talking about my AEGs and my longer rifles and that sort of thing. So let's just jump into that really quick. Now, these aren't my first, but after an airsoft place closed down, I got some super reliable airsoft guns from them. They may not look pretty, but they work just fine. These are, of course, M4 models. These are great. I have 2 more over here, as you can see. Parked right over here, laying on shutter. I kind of started to run out of room a little bit, so I kind of set those way over there. But really nice. Takes your standard M4 mags. No problem. So that's not a big deal. But really good guns, reliable. Everything works on them. They're really nice, and I have to say, for the price I got them for, I mean, it's worth every penny. So, we'll be using that for a lot of my group things when I do things with kids and sponsorships and stuff like that. Next is one of my personal favorites. This is my first AEG I ever bought myself. It's my PPSH, my King Arms. This thing is boss. Now, I have had problems with the wind-up, but I hate wind-up mags. I'd rather just go with mid-caps. Just mid-caps are almost non-existent for this thing. But overall, it works really well. I got the AK sling on it for a little bit more accuracy as far as the gun goes. I did chip some metal here, so I wrapped it with a rubber band, but no problem. Still, everything still works, not a problem. It is blowback, of course, but this gun is really nice. High rate of fire, very well made, just a gorgeous gun to have, and it's very durable, stamped steel, and if you're going to go in CQB, it does shoot a little hot at first, but all you got to do is pull that bolt back, take the hop up just a little bit down. It doesn't affect the accuracy for some reason, but it definitely makes it okay for you 350 players out there. So let's move on. Now this is my long-range rifle. I don't use it very often, but this is of course the shell ejecting Kar 98K. That means as I pull the bolt back, it is gas powered, of course. There's going to be a shell in there, much like that D-Boys one I talked to you about. While it is crap in comparison, this is a good version. Great gun, solid, very, very accurate, very accurate. If you want a good, accurate rifle, I would go with this. Yeah, sure you have the shells, but dude, that's like having mid-caps for any kind of airsoft gun. But it works. It's a good gun. It's solid. It's made of wood and metal. And everything about this is aesthetically pleasing, and it feels like an actual rifle. It's that grandfather rifle we all want. So I would recommend it. It's very beautiful, very well made, very accurate, and I say efficient for a sniper rifle. You don't need 60 rounds to shoot at somebody in one magazine, as far as I'm concerned. This is, of course, my dummy knife. Of course, it's just a Kajal cutter from kajalcutter.com. You can get these on Amazon. They're very cheap. You can use these to train with swords and everything, which I do. You know, because you never know. I mean, you're not always going to have ammunition and guns, and it's good to get acquainted with it. If you have a machete or something, it's just a good, safe thing, and just tap somebody and they're out, and it looks cool. So there it is. Moving on, this is my most recent gun and my most favorite assault rifle of all of my assault rifles. This is that sweet Tavor I showed you guys the other day. It's got that 3 points, got safety, semi, auto. Of course, it's unloaded, the battery's not in it, so perfectly safe. It's got that blowback in the back over, you know, to flip that around, blowback over here. So when you do fire it, it's going to move a little bit. You can disable that, but I kind of like it for that aesthetic. It's very pleasing. Battery compartment, very light. Also, it's got that nice bullpup. I got gut pouches, as you can tell over here. So when I have all these opened up, I can just pull my hand back, slap that magazine out, slack one back in, and I'm ready to go again. So, I mean, just the perfect kind of gun for what I do. Good for CQB because of that extended barrel, much longer than this. I measured the barrel on this. This is almost 4 inches longer, so this will outperform most M4s that you're going to have on the field. This will outperform them. This will definitely outshoot them, and it's very reliable, and I haven't had too many problems with it. And I fit a pretty large scope on this Picatinny rail, about from here to here. So don't let anybody tell you that it won't fit, because all it needs to do is bite down on that rail and it's fine. So yeah, set that down very crudely. Next is my ASG Sten gun. Now this is very bare bones, very very ugly gun, a lot of people say, but man, I tell you, I have had a lot of fun with this. Good rate of fire. It's a solid gun. It does what it's supposed to. The battery does run out of juice pretty quickly, so if you're going to run this, I recommend you get a second battery. It only runs mid-caps like so. You can get metal ones on Amazon for like $11, and you load it in there, and it's ready to go. But it holds about 40 rounds a piece, so that's a good mid-cap gun if you're going to run it. And it's very small. You can just fire it like this, and that's a very low silhouette, and it's highly accurate. And those sights may be rudimentary at best, but they are super spot on. I would recommend this gun. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of British weapons, but I got this for a steal, and I can tell you that it was definitely worth the money. Very nice gun. And of course you got my other M4s. As you can see down here, I have my riot shields. Those are for fun little games. I use them all the time. Every time I bring them, airsofters my local area, whenever I do play, say, hey, you got some riot shields? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's play with them. And so those are good. You can even set them up against the walls, temp cover. As long as you're not holding them, it's technically not physical cover, so there's no cooldown with them, so you don't have to hide and technically recharge the shield, if you know what I mean. So yeah. And finally, piece de resistance, my M79 Thumper by King Arms. Very, Very nice gun. Now, unlike the GLM that kicks the gun, the port right here slides over, you run the risk of dropping the shell, and of course this takes every kind of 40 millimeter shell, and just drop it in there, and you don't have to worry about it dropping on the ground. Of course, very nice gun. It's got the longest barrel of any gun in its class, and that's going to be grenade launchers and any kind of launcher. So you're going to have that advantage over everybody else, especially for those really long shells that come out to here. That's usually, I like to think that that stopper is about the max for most of them. I've loaded just about everything you can think of. This gun has stood up to it. The wood and metal construction is nice. It's aesthetically pleasing, and it's horribly terrifying against any team that has those fast-moving players, because this will just cut them down, and they'll be pulling out the dead rag faster than you can say ouch. So this is definitely one of those guns that you would absolutely adore. Running, as I've said in my past videos, running a grenade launcher is by far one of the most expensive of all the game weapons outside of the minigun, but that's for obvious reasons. But if you are going to pick one of these up, I recommend you pick up a pistol or something, because this might be your main because of the price of these little puppies right here. Really nice gun, works really well, scary, and that's what you want. Finally, I have these little Thunder Bees. These are really awesome. You can load them up with pellets, chalk powders, water, anything you can put in there. It works. Just CO2 charge right here. I used to have 3 of these, but somebody stole it at the last game I went to, unfortunately. Made me a little upset, but clearly, you know, it just shows you the class of some people sometimes. But really fun little toy to have, really scary and loud. It's funny whenever you're not the one throwing it, it just gives everybody else the heebie-jeebies on your team. And the other people, I'm sure they don't like it, because if the way we play is if it's in the room when it explodes, you're dead. So, really fun little thing to have. They are, again, expensive. Any kind of grenadier loadout is going to be a little more expensive, but if you have the money to throw away, or just because you want that hobby, or maybe you want the realism, that's a good way to go. Finally, this is my vest. Now, a lot of people give me crap because it's big and heavy and bulky, and I want to say that this vest is built to distribute weight even for people with my physical limitations. As you know, I was in an accident, as I explained before, and this is pretty light considering, and it distributes the weight. As long as you have the weight distribution, it's not a big deal. If you have all the weight in the front on a belly rig, it does tend to arch your back a little bit over time and yank on you. So I wouldn't recommend that, but for all you guys that have bad backs like I do, this is a good way. You got your pistol mags, your radio mag, your admin pouch, you got your dump pouch for your Backlave tools, dump pouch, M4 mag holster. You got your pistol mag holster, which is universal, so I can fit my revolvers and just about everything else in there. You got MOLLE gear on your shoulder pads, which I really like the shoulder pads. They look really cool. You got neck guard, and you have the front neck guard, but since I don't have really a neck, since I'm a short little midget, sorry, that's a little offensive, but I'm very little. It really helps out. And I got my little medic pouch, EMT, just in case something bad happens, I'll be able to help on the field. I recommend any airsofter that is taking it seriously enough to understand that there's risks. I recommend you throw one of these on your back. And for those guys that are bigger like I am, I got a bit of a beer gut, I'll admit. I recommend a hydration pouch. You can't go wrong. It's good to stay hydrated and everything like that. And plus, this plate carrier can carry real plates. That being said, it's a really nice chest rig, and it's got that groin protector for all you guys out there. Thanks guys for stopping by. I know this is a lot of stuff, and it's going to be a pretty long video for me to record. Again, this is Jesse Hill and the Jesse Hill Airsoft thing for you guys. Just real quick, just to be sure you guys know that safety is very important in any kind of action sport, including airsoft and even paintball when I play sometimes, and other action sports like that. Safety is of the utmost importance. You want to make sure you wear qualified protection. These are my work safety glasses. These are scaled up to take a lot of damage. I can play with these in airsoft, but you know, some places don't, you know, allow it. You know, they have to have full seal protection. So if you do have full seal protection, make sure to keep it over your eyes at all times when you're playing, and it wouldn't hurt you to keep it on when you're around airsoft guns, just because accidents can happen. That being said, to prevent accidents like that from happening to a player, make sure you keep your what I call a barrel cover or gun condom over the tip of the barrel, because you don't want, in the event of pellets in there, the AEG, you pull the trigger, it'll still fire because it's got that battery. You don't want a pellet flying out and hitting somebody or hurting somebody, because that would suck. So make sure you keep these on the barrel when you're not playing. And for a little bit of a tips when you're moving the gun, according to your city ordinance, make sure you keep your gun in a gun bag away from view. Make sure the gun is unloaded, and the magazines are placed in a place that is not readily available to slap the mag in there, so make sure it's just inconvenient for you to actually pull it out really quickly. You know, the safer and the more put away it is, the better. Also, make sure your guns are lubricated and well taken care of. And when you're at home, make sure you put like a little plastic bag or something over the gun or major moving parts to keep dust from getting in there and just chewing up your gun, or, you know, making it hard for your gun to function very well. It's just a nice little thing to do for your gun and to take care of it. Also, make sure you have tools, hex keys, that sort of thing, in case you need to break the gun down and clean it out or something like that, or adjust your hop-up. Make sure you have those readily available and organized so that you won't lose them or anything like that. Well, guys, it's been a lot of fun. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys really liked what I showed you. Well, guys, this is the very end of this episode. This is Jesse Hill and the Jesse Hill Airsoft Corner on the Raffleberry Pancake channel, signing off. You guys have a nice and safe airsofting event.